Hey, what's going on everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Wednesday. We got 11 matchups on this NBA slate today. So yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe, guys. Check out all my links in the description below. Really good bonus offers to get you guys in on this NBA action. Check out Prize Picks too. If you guys like player props, NBA honestly is the perfect sport to do player props on. So definitely recommend hopping in there. And yeah, we'll hop into it. 11 matchups. Starting with the Chicago Bulls versus the Detroit Pistons. Bulls opening up as 4-point favorites with the over-under at 220. Last 10 head-to-head, Chicago 7-3. Chicago, no real injuries to report here. Picking up DeMar DeRozan in the offseason. They have a pretty interesting lineup going into the season with Lonzo as well. Chicago 6-0-1 covering the spread against Detroit. Currently on a 7-game winning streak against the Pistons here. The Pistons, ended the season on a 5-game losing streak. Failed to cover the spread. Brand new team. A lot of young talent on this team. I just don't think they're really ready to make that playoff leap this season. It's going to be a work in progress. I like the Bulls. They have a really fun roster. Should be a lot of fun this season. 4-point spread, small spread here. I'm going to take the Bulls -4. We'll take them on the money line as well. Next matchup, we have the Indiana Pacers versus the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets opening up as 2-point favorites with the over-under at 224.5. You can get Charlotte on the money line at -125. Indiana plus 110. Last 10 head-to-head, Pacers 7-3 in their last 10. LeVert is out the first 4 games of the season. Brogdon's good to go. Still missing TJ Warren for Charlotte. Rozier, Bridges, and Hayward look probable, so it should be good to go. Hayward is questionable. We'll see though. Indiana 5-2 in their last 7 games against Charlotte. 5-2 covering against Charlotte in those 7 matchups. Charlotte, ended the season on a 6-game losing streak, 1-5 at home. I like the Pacers here, plus the points. Pretty, not much value in this game here. I like the Pacers roster a little bit better. I like Brogdon and Turner. And, Hornets, they were a fun team last year. First game, though, we'll see what happens. But, I like the Pacers in this matchup. I'm going to take the Pacers +2. Next matchup, we have the Boston Celtics versus the New York Knicks. The Knicks opening up as 2-point favorites with the over-under at 218.5. You can get the Knicks on the money line at -125. The Celtics +110. The last 10 head-to-head, Boston 7-3. It looks like Al Horford is going to be out for Wednesday, but Jaylen Brown looks good to go. Boston 15-5 in their last 20 games against New York, 5-1 against New York. In their last 6 games on the road, really good on the road here. Knicks, very fun team last season. Had that nice playoff push, but couldn't get past Atlanta. 1-5 at home against Boston here. Yeah, getting the Celtics plus points to start the season. As long as they have a healthy Tatum and Jaylen Brown entering the season, and they brought in Schroeder, which is a really big point guard upgrade for the Celtics here. Give me the Celtics plus the points. All right, next matchup, we have the Washington Wizards versus the Toronto Raptors. Toronto opening up as 2.5-point favorites with the over-under at 218. You can get Toronto on the money line at -137. Washington +120. Last 10 head-to-head, Toronto 9-1. Pretty dominant head-to-head there. Washington, Thomas Bryant and Roy Hachimura are both out. Beal is probable. Pascal Siakam is out. Washington 0-6 on the road to end the season. 1-10 against Toronto. 1-9 on the road against Toronto. Toronto ended the season on a 7-game losing streak. 0-5 at home. The only good thing they have going for them right now currently, is their success against the Wizards. the Wizards didn't really get much better in the offseason. They really didn't. Losing Westbrook definitely hurt. Yeah, the Raptors losing Kyle Lowry here, but I just think they have better coaching staff and better talent here with Fred VanVleet, and some other weapons with Boucher and a lot of other key guys here. Such a small spread and the success Toronto's had. I'm going to take the chance with the Raptors to get a nice win over the Wizards in their opener. Next matchup, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis opening up as 7.5 point favorites with the over-under at 216.5. You can get Memphis on the money line at minus 300. Cleveland plus 275. Last 10 head-to-head, Cleveland 6-4. No injuries for Cleveland. Memphis, Dillon Brooks is out for a little bit. That definitely does kind of hurt their guard rotation for Memphis here. Cleveland 1-13 in their last 14. 0-8 covering the spread on the road. Memphis 2-8 covering the spread in their last 10. 0-5 covering at home. I just like the roster that Memphis has. Love John Morant. They really do have some pieces there. Cleveland is just a mess. I just don't like the organization. Really headed in a down path. A lot of young talent, but they just really don't know how to use them with Sexton and Garland and or not Garland. I'm sorry. Whoever the other point guard is, I can't even think off the top of my head. But a lot of question marks with this Cleveland team. We're really hard to bet on last season here. 7.5 does seem like a decent spread bet. I'm still going to take Memphis minus 7.5, but I think they're more of a money line play here. But yeah, we're going to roll with the Grizzlies. Next matchup, we have the Houston Rockets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota opening up as 5.5 point favorites with the over-under at 227.5. You can get Minnesota on the money line at minus 220. Houston plus 190. Last 10 head-to-head, Houston 6-4. No real injuries to report. Beverly is out for Minnesota. Houston 1-8 in their last 9. They've had good success against Minnesota here. 15-5 in their last 20 against Minnesota. 0-7 on the road. Yeah, not in love with this matchup here. But hard to trust the Rockets here. They just don't have the talent. They really don't. I like Minnesota. Got some good pieces there with Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell and Edwards. Very talented roster. Let's hope they can actually translate that to wins this season. I'm going to take the Timberwolves minus 5.5, and we'll take them on the money line. All right, next matchup, we have the Philadelphia 76ers versus the New Orleans Pelicans. The 76ers opening up as 3-point favorites with the over-under at 226. You can get the Sixers on the money line at minus 150. The Pelicans plus 135. Last 10 head-to-head, Philly 7-3. We know all the off-season drama. Ben Simmons is going to be out. But they still have a healthy Embiid coming into the season here. Pretty solid depth with Tobias Harris. So I think they'll be able to hold it down. And I think Ben Simmons is probably going to be gone. It's just pretty clear at this point that there's a lot of issues going on with Ben Simmons there. The Pelicans, no Zion. That does hurt them. They've already were playing pretty poor with him. I like Philly in this matchup. I just think, Joel Embiid's going to dominate this matchup here. Tobias Harris is going to have a great game as well. They got the pieces in the roster to take care of this Pelican squad, which really only has Brandon Ingram, not the greatest roster assembled here with no Zion. I'll take the Sixers in this matchup. Next matchup, we have the Orlando Magic versus the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs opening up as 5.5 point favorites with the over-under at 212.5. You can get the Spurs on the money line at minus 230. The Magic plus 205. Last 10 head-to-head, Spurs 6-4. As far as injuries, a lot of injuries for Orlando. No Etuan Moore, no Michael Carter-Williams, Jonathan Isaac out, Markelle Fultz out, Kiki out. A lot of injuries there, and no injuries for the Spurs here. Magic ended the season on a 7-game losing streak. They have struggled against the Spurs here. 4-16 in their last 20 against the Spurs. 2-10 on the road against San Antonio here. Yeah, I like the Spurs here. You just can't trust this. This Magic roster is already beat up going into the season. No true talent on this team. No real scorer to get a bucket for the Magic. No star. Yeah, give me the Spurs in this matchup. -5.5. We'll take them on the money line as well. Next matchup, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Utah Jazz. The Jazz opening up as 12-point favorites with the over-under at 221. You can get the Jazz on the money line at -800. The Thunder plus 615. Last 10 head-to-head. Thunder 6-4 in their last 10 head-to-head. No real injuries. Rudy Gay is out for the Jazz here. The Thunder 1-9 in their last 10 to end the season. 6-1 covering the spread in their last 7. 1-12 on the road. 12 points, big spread here, but I just trust this Jazz roster more. Donovan Mitchell, Conley, Gobert. Love the squad. Very competitive squad that's going to be in the West here. Thunder, a work in progress team with some pretty decent young talent, but going to take the Jazz -12. We'll add them to a moneyline parlay. Next matchup, we have the Denver Nuggets versus the Phoenix Suns. Suns opening up as 6-point favorites with the over-under at 223.5. You can get the Suns on the money line at -240. Denver plus 205. The last 10 head-to-head, both teams 5-5. Jamal Murray still out for Denver. For Phoenix, Dario Saric is out. Denver 1-4 in their last 5 against Phoenix. Phoenix 1-4 covering the spread in their last 5. Phoenix, tough matchup here. I kind of lean with Denver plus the points, giving 6 points to this Denver team. They're getting Jokic back. Aaron Gore and Michael and Michael Porter Jr. They really have talent in the bigs area. Going to be a fun matchup. Both teams, I'm taking Denver plus 6. I think it's going to be a very competitive matchup, and we'll see what happens here. But I'm taking Denver plus the points. And then the last matchup on this slate, we have the Sacramento Kings versus the Portland Trail Blazers. Portland opening up as 5-point favorites with the over-under at 232.5. You can get Portland on the money line at -200. The Kings plus 190. The last 10 head-to-head, Portland 7-3. Tony Snell is out for Portland, but he's just a role player. Nothing to be concerned about. Sacramento 4-8 covering the spread in their last 12 against Portland. Portland ended the season 1-4 in their last 5. 1-4 covering. New season. Look for the Portland to make a strong start to start this season. Lillard and McCollum should be able to go off here. Hard to trust the Kings. It just really is. They have talent, but very hard team to trust day in and day out. Give me Portland -5, and we'll take them on the money line. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Wednesday, and I'll see you guys Thursday. Have a good one.